Do you know what it means to be a motherless daughter? Did you know you can have mother loss without mother death? Mother loss comes in many forms, and Motherless Daughters Ministry is here to help you navigate through your particular mother loss. While you are unique, you are definitely not alone. We have 25 years worth of pearls of wisdom to help you on your mother loss journey. And we are sharing all of these pearls with you through this very podcast, Nurturing Words, Voices of Experience, sponsored lovingly by Motherless Daughters Ministry.
Hello, I'm Gladys Bell, your host. We're so glad to have you with us today. Here at Motherless Daughters Ministry, we seek to provide resources that will encourage and support healing from the impact of loss. Today's podcast features a blog by Dr. Mary Ellen Collins, our founder, board chair, and the author of the overwhelming majority of our curriculum. It cuts right to the chase with profound truths about our personal history that open the gates to healing. One of the hallmarks of the Motherless Daughters Ministry is curriculum designed to clear the path for the healing journey. Dr. Collins was called to utilize her unique combination of qualifications for such a time as this. 25 years of service to motherless daughters testifies of the experience that inspires us to volunteer and ensure this opportunity continues to be available. This powerful narrative challenges us to acknowledge the validity of our personal story. As a nonprofit working to reach motherless daughters, we look to connect with you. Right from our website homepage, there are links to receive email updates, leave a voicemail message, schedule a free 15-minute consultation, or sign up for personal coaching. Your prayers, input, and financial support help make a difference in providing content for motherless daughters. If you are blessed by the ministry, please check our show notes for ways to give back or become a part of our community through the website at www.motherlessdaughtersministry.com. Now, allow me to share these reflections from Dr. Collins. History is written by those in power. Most of us have heard that phrase before, usually in classrooms, documentaries, or conversations about politics and war. But for motherless daughters, this truth often lives much closer to home. Our stories, too, have been shaped and sometimes silenced by power. Power doesn't always look loud or obvious. Sometimes it wears the face of authority, tradition, control, respectability, or survival. Sometimes it looks like the adults who decided what could be spoken and what must remain hidden. Sometimes it sounds like, quote, "That's just the way she was," unquote, or, quote, "You shouldn't speak ill of your mother," unquote, or, quote, "Be grateful, it could have been worse," unquote. And so history gets written. The family story becomes the official version. The public narrative replaces the private truth. The daughter's experience is edited, softened, or erased entirely. Over time, many motherless daughters learn that their grief does not fit the approved storyline. Their pain makes others uncomfortable. Their questions threaten stability. Their truth challenges power. So they stay quiet. When a mother dies, especially early or suddenly, the loss itself can be rewritten. People remember her at her best. Her complexity disappears. The daughter is expected to carry her grief gracefully, without mess or anger. If the relationship was complicated, distant, abusive, or emotionally absent, the silence grows even heavier. There is no room for nuance when history demands a simpler version. When a mother is emotionally unavailable, narcissistic, addicted, mentally ill, or unsafe, the daughter's story is often dismissed entirely. The mother's role is protected. The daughter becomes too sensitive, dramatic, or ungrateful. Power shields itself by controlling the narrative, and yet what is unspoken does not disappear. It lives in the body. It shows up in relationships, boundaries, self-worth, and trust. It whispers, "Something about this story doesn't feel true, but I don't know how to name it." For many motherless daughters, healing begins not with answers, but with permission. Permission to question the story we were given. Permission to grieve what others minimized. Permission to tell the truth, even when it disrupts the version that made everyone else more comfortable.
We're going to take a short break and then get right back to the podcast.
You have a powerful story to tell, and I want you to know your story will resonate with so many in our listening community. Podcasts provide us with opportunities to connect with others, fostering a sense of personal connection through the power and intimacy of one's voice. They can provide an escape, a touch point with the world outside, and a sense of community, and not just for the listeners. If you would like to be featured as a nurturing voice of experience in one of our upcoming podcasts, please let us know. Visit motherlessdaughtersministry.com today.
Rewriting history is not about blame. It is about honesty. It is about acknowledging that two things can be true at once. A mother can be admired by the world and still wound her daughter. A family can appear functional while a child feels profoundly alone. A loss can be socially recognized while the deeper grief remains unseen. Power resists these truths because they complicate the narrative, but healing requires complexity. When motherless daughters begin to reclaim their stories, something shifts. The internal confusion starts to settle. The ache gains language. The shame loosens its grip. What once felt like a personal failure is revealed as an inherited silence. Naming your truth is an act of courage. It may feel disloyal. It may feel risky. It may feel like you are breaking an unspoken rule. But telling your story does not dishonor anyone. It honors you. It restores balance where power once tipped the scales. You are allowed to tell the story as you lived it. You are allowed to grieve the mother you lost and the mother you never had. You are allowed to hold love and disappointment in the same hands. You are allowed to speak, even if your voice shakes. For generations, women, especially daughters, have been asked to carry pain quietly, to protect reputations, to preserve appearances. But silence is not the same as peace, and compliance is not the same as healing. When motherless daughters gather and share their stories, a different kind of history emerges. One written not by power, but by truth. One shaped by lived experience, mutual understanding, and compassion. One that says, I see you, I believe you, you are not alone. Your story matters. It matters even if no one ever asked to hear it. It matters even if it contradicts the official version. It matters because it is yours. History may have been written by those in power, but healing begins when daughters pick up the pen and write themselves back into the story. Wow, what powerful and thought-provoking reflections. Let me preface the following by the statement that these comments are my personal reflections as your host. This is exactly the type of encounter that makes us feel heard and seen in the ministry connections. The deeply buried true story is often different than the, quote, official story released freely by the family group. As Dr. Collins stated, challenging the official version of your story requires courage. For that reason, we celebrate each one of you who have come through the 25 years of Motherless Daughters Ministry offerings. You spoke your truth and shattered the invisible barrier to freedom from the burden of silenced hurts. When does information become history? There are multiple ways this question is answered by those who record what becomes either recent or established historical events and information. The different perspectives, or rules as they are termed, consider what benchmarks must occur before something becomes history. But for the motherless daughters, our story is a major part of our history, as in the word itself. Our personal history lives both in the past and in the present. The past events inform our present life. As the month of March is Women's History Month, it brings to mind the many women of the Bible who had stories and even their names which were never mentioned in the annals of history. One source stated that there are 600 women whose names were never mentioned. A number of them made significant contributions to biblical history. Some of them are 1. The woman with the issue of blood. 2. The Samaritan woman at the well. 3. Peter's mother-in-law. And 4. The woman caught in adultery. Although those women's stories will never fully be acknowledged or told, they are forever touching the lives of countless millions in the bestseller ever put on the market. Just as their encounter and relationship with God changed their lives, so our restored relationship with God applies a healing balm to the hurts of the past. God is love and light, and as with any living plant, the exposure to light and the application of water promotes growth. As we embrace our sisters with God's love, our stories are brought to light, and the community established among us is as a refreshing drink of water that opens a path to healing from the impact of loss. We are grateful for the opportunity to touch your life and invite you to our community of sisters. Remember, you are not alone.
Thank you for joining us here at Motherless Daughters Ministry. If you need more nurturing words, we encourage you to have a listen to other episodes of this podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe or follow button so you can join us again next time.